Hello. Hello. Welcome to another episode of Cooking with Heather. My name's Heather Leigh Cameron. I'm now 31 years old and this is my kitchen. Excuse the lighting, but it's not working right now and I have to get it fixed, which I will do on Monday. We're gonna make a very cool little taco pizza today. And I've already got the water boiling for the ingredients we're gonna need, but we're gonna get another plate out because we need it for the pizza. I did a little pre-preparation today, and you know what? That's not a bad thing. I put the water on to boil because it takes forever. But what we're going to do right now is get some whole wheat tortilla shells from Walmart. We're going to open them. Because honestly, this isn't about pizza dough. Because with the pizza dough, it wouldn't be as interesting, would it? We'll get a shell. And I'm using the smaller shells because it'll make for a better thing. We're going to get some nice cheese, some nice Havarti cheese, like it's creamy, it makes good for nachos, just an all-in-all wonderful cheese. We're going to get some. We're going to make our crust first, but we need... And you know what, the water's boiling, so we're just going to take a minute. We're making the crust. We're going to put our chicken in, because we'll need the chicken later. And we'll put everything we don't need in the sink. And the hamburger's about ready too, so we'll just make a quick pit stop and prepare that and throw that in too. Won't take very long. It's just lean ground beef, because you know, other ground beefs are very fatty and they're not so good for you, so I try to use healthy ingredients when I cook. And it's always important. I've only got a couple tubes of the lean ground beef because you don't actually need this much at all. You don't need much at all to do what I'm doing. So we're just going to put it in the oven over here. We're going to toss it in. We're going to max up the heat. Gonna get things boiling. You know, wash our hands of all that grimy meat. Ah. Everything's gonna be great. All right, now back to the crust. Now we've got 2 slices of Havarti cheese on a shell. We're going to cover it. This is going to be quite the crust. We're going to split the Havarti into 4. I'm going to fold it so there's even keelings on both sides. We're gonna make it like a bit of a square. See how I'm folding the Havarti cheese? We're going to fold it just like this so that it's all underneath the crust. And we're going to put that. We're going to just make a bit of a cheesy crust. And for this, we need another slice. You just have to be really careful that you don't do too much cheese, because honestly, it'll taste really bad if you do too much. So you put some in the middle, and there's your cheese, and that your crust is all ready to go. Well, the bottom part is. Then you put this on top. And then you're going to do this in the microwave. Make sure it's layered evenly on top. You're going to do it in the microwave for a minute. Well, 45 seconds actually. Because you don't want it too well done, but you want it done enough. Yeah, and then this is melted together. It's just a very simple dough. You press down on the dough to help melt the cheese along. See, it's just very simple. These two shells are now glued together by the cheese. It's a bit of a science project, and I've actually never done it before, but we'll put the cheese aside because we'll actually need it later. But I don't think we'll be needing the rest of the shells, so we can put those away in the fridge as long as they're nice and flat. Gotta keep them cold. All right. Anyway, we're gonna need some sauce next, and yes, a little bit of tomato sauce, not too much, maybe a can of this size, not a giant can. Gotta be really careful not to get a fickle can, because the fickle cans will not open for you. And you're asking me, why are you not using the oven? Because this can be made without using the oven. And you know what? It's definitely a switch from the cooking I have been doing, but you know what? Good chefs can do all sorts of cooking, not just in the oven, because you won't always have an oven at your disposal now, will you? Whew. Just that's enough. And if it didn't get it all, get a small spoon to help spread it. Just flatten it. It's actually looking rather nice. Okay. So, now we'll put this aside and use it later. Now we're going to get into the nitty-gritty of things. Now that our meat is cooking and it's getting there, we're going to do other things to it. We're going to put some vegetables on this little pizza. For now, though, we're going to give ourselves some more counter space. And we're going to get our strainer out. We'll be fine without it for a minute. It's getting warm in here, so we're going to take this off and cook with short sleeves because it's okay. Everything's cleaned up. So we're going to just do it right now. We're going to get to the vegetables. We're going to give ourselves some room. We're going to use a cutting board. Just going to leave our little friend here. Our little crust. And any excess ingredients that we have, we can put away. So and you notice I'm using canned vegetables. Well, here's the thing about that. It'd be nice if we could use fresh, but fresh vegetables cost a lot. So what we're going to do is spread them out. On this little shell on this pizza. Now, these are mushroom stems. I did get actual mushrooms, but now we don't have a need for them, so we can just put them away. And it's just going to be a lovely time. Oh, excuse my mess. Oh. I've got so many cooking tools that I never know what to do with everything, and it's such craziness. Whenever I try to make something. Because you know what? I never know what I'm going to make until I do it. And I'm very, very pleased to be able to do it for you. All right. Let's get some vegetables going. Let's get some vegetables going now. Some hand vegetables, like, you know what? Cucumbers at Walmart, they're only $1. So we're just going to cut this open and cut it up. And I'm not shamelessly plugging Walmart. It really is a wonderful haven for those on a budget. Because, like it or not, it's the holidays. And people on budgets simply can't shell out tons of money for groceries anymore like I used to, because the cost of food is ridiculous. Alright, so we'll start with that. And you all know how I like to slice cucumbers into quarters. Then we'll sprinkle them over the pizza. It's a bit of a thin crust. But you know what? It's going to be really good when it's done. I think so anyway. I mean, I admit I've never done this type of a pizza, and it's alright. We actually don't need that much more in the way of cucumbers, so we're just going to take the rest for eating. We're going to put them in a bag and we're going to eat them later. Because honestly, I don't like to waste food. And then we're going to wash our hands again, because you know what? Washing our hands is important when we cook. And we should not be ashamed of doing it. Okay. We're going to give the board a quick flip over because, yeah. Actually, we don't even need to because they're all vegetables. But we've got some lovely red and yellow peppers. Fresh red and yellow peppers. They were actually on sale when I bought them. And they're big. So let's get the little tag off. We're gonna just slice this sucker up nice and quick. Gonna get the seeds out. You know, my mother used to always give me grief because I didn't know the seeds had to come out of the pepper when I was a lot younger. So she'd yell at me, Heather Leigh Cameron, get the seeds out of the pepper before you cook it, otherwise it's gonna taste like crap. And I would be like, yes, Mom, because you can't be disrespectful to your mom and be rude to your mom. That's just not how things are. Caught a little bit of a bad piece out there. So we're just going to put it all over the place. We actually don't need all these peppers, honestly. We don't. We're just going to throw this bad piece away. We actually don't need all these peppers. I got so much. I thought I would need more. We need a red pepper, though. So what we're going to do is chop up the red pepper. This is probably a better way to chop peppers. Chopping them off the top, then reaching in and taking the bunch of seeds all at once. And yeah, this is going to set off the smoke detector, so excuse the noise. I don't do the fan. see, I better turn it down. Because this is going to be done before I'm ready for it, and I don't want that. I've got to take the tag off because these peppers aren't going to go without the tag. Just put that over there for now and we'll use it later. You know, usually I don't like to eat peppers, but health is, I'm not diabetic or anything, but my health is such that I need to start eating better and having more iron and things that are good for me. So I actually bought a ton of vegetables this grocery visit, and really I'm not ashamed of it. And trust me, you're wondering why the peppers don't seem to have any flavor. They will. We're just not at that stage yet. And we don't need all these peppers that I bought, so we're going to put them back in the bag and put them back in the fridge. Yeah, isn't that cool? So we're just going to do that right now. In the crisper. It will be a taco pizza. It will be a bit of a taco pizza by the time I'm done. Because we're making the lower layer right now. We're actually going to need another shell in a little bit here, so we're just going to get those out again. Now that I'm thinking about it. And you know what? Now we're going to move on to the asparagus. And you know, we don't need all the asparagus, we just need the stems. So we'll just cut the stems off in little pieces after that. We only need the stems. We're going to use the rest for other things. We're going to cut the stems in half and add them to this. There's so many little stems, so be careful. Or we're just going to cut them into smaller pieces, not necessarily in half. There we go. Because this is the roughage. This is the roughage for the taco pie. And that's it for vegetables. So we're going to wash our hands and just do very good things in a minute. Because it looks like our meat is getting done. We'll just check it. We'll wash the knife. But while that's going on, we'll give it a few more minutes. We'll get the bacon all ready as well. Because this is chicken bacon from Walmart. Because let's be fair, bacon is really fatty, and I am only 31, but I cannot handle the grease that bacon brings, so I have to compromise a bit and settle with chicken bacon so that I don't end up having a heart attack at 35. But this is quite nifty bacon. You can microwave it. Because not everybody has a stove. Not everybody has a stove, believe it or not. It's the saddest thing in the world. Not every Canadian, American, or anybody else has a stove. But a microwave can even fit into the box-like apartments that a lot of people have. And they're surprisingly cheap if you go to the right thrift stores. So we're going to wash the knife because we will need it. And we are going to wash the cutting board because we will need it again. Put that away. That's all clean and dry. I'm just going to wait for the bacon to come out. Because it's really going to be a fun little thing once it's all done. I'm thinking one or more of the the meat. The meat is done, maybe. It's been in a long time. So we're just going to grab a knife. Dutch knife. Yeah, the meat is done. The meat's all done. The hamburger's done, which is great because we need it. What we're going to do is pull it out. Unfortunately, I can't find the strainer. So what we're going to do with this is pour it into here. All of it. It's a nifty little pot, isn't it? Put that there for now. What we're going to do is pour the grease out. Little bits at a time so we don't lose any of the meat. Oh, well, we lost a bit, but it's okay. Just pick it up again using a knife. There, it's safe and sound. Now what we're going to do, well, it's warm, we're going to chop it all up into pieces we can actually use. And you want to stand like where I'm standing so that the grease doesn't get you. Alright, that's ready. Now what we're going to do is get a spoon. It's not exactly the type of pizza I had planned to cook, but you know what? My health is such that I get so tired so quickly. I need to chop it a bit more. Just little bits at a time because it does take a while. And there's going to be chicken in here too, so we can't use the whole thing. Probably that much. And then we're going to quickly put this in a container. The quickest I can find one. So that, you know what, the chicken can come out because it's done. Because this can be used for spaghetti or other things, or burritos or something fun. Just because we can't use it in the cooking doesn't mean it's not useful. So we'll just store that away and wash our little storage pot. Get this scrubber out of here. It's kind of, useless, this scrubber. But to absorb the meat. There. All the meat is out of the sink. All the beef. All the beef is out, and we don't need it contaminating the other thing. We need to wash our hands too. Bit of a topic conundrum. We need to wash the knife. Okay, so the chicken looks done. So we're going to turn it off. This is a bigger pot, so if you're using a big pot like this for chicken, be extra careful. To stand back from the sink. Because I got lucky and got all the water. Just wait till that drains. This is called a Legostina. My brother got it for me because he knows I like to cook so much. The Legostinas is actually a very useful pot. It actually helps me be able to get a lot done. And no, it's not for sale, and if you come and try and steal my Legostina, I have this, so don't steal it. Nice and white chicken. That's perfect. All right. I need the chicken cut into small pieces. Otherwise, this is not going to work. The chicken is still warm, which is actually really good. It's good to use it while it's still warm because it'll make for a better effect. And yes, I cooked like 5 chicken breasts, but I can always use them for burritos later on. Alright, be careful because they're hot. Just be really careful how you place these because they're so hot. Get my other hand in here too because it's less vulnerable to heat. We don't want that much chicken because we've got meat and we're getting even more meat. Now we are really done with the cutting board. I'll just leave the chickens to cool in the sink. So now we're going to get out the bacon. And it's a bit hot, but you know, heat is a theme, I guess, to this wonderful episode, holiday episode. See, look at how good it cooks in the microwave. I couldn't do better. What we're gonna do is get a Dutch knife. Because the Dutch knives are good at cutting small things. We're going to slice that in half, place it over top of the chicken and sort of flatten it a little bit. Gonna flatten this a little bit. We're not going to use very much of it either. Maybe just 5 small pieces and that's it. We're going to save the rest and use it for sandwiches. Because nothing goes to waste in this house, and if you come over and you think you're going to waste food, you've got another thing coming because I'm not swimming in money. Alright, so we're just going to put all this in the sink. Wash our hands a bit. And then we're going to use some more cheese. Some more Havarti. We're going to pop it over the bacon. And what we're not going to do is have it in quarters this time, because that was the bottom layer. This is like a bit of a pizza, so just bear with me. This is experimental, purely experimental. There. Okay, we're done with this. We can put it away and throw the remnants away. It's awfully hot from all the boiling and cooking. So I'm glad this is almost done. All right. do now. There we go. Just a simple, we're gonna, actually, yes. No, we're gonna not do that because that'll be excessive. We're going to use so much of this food later that thank God I've got enough grocery bags. Or these little Tupperware bags. Bags really do spare a lot of room and mess. So we should be grateful for them. And this is the first time I've done a full episode in one sitting. And as far as toppings go, you can put whatever you like. Squish it a bit. It's done. But you know what I'm gonna do? Garnish it with some sour cream. And it's the low-fat kind, so I can actually eat it. There we go, just not too much. Only another spoon for salsa, just not too much. And a bit of salad dressing around the border. There we go. I mean, you can put hummus or whatever else you want on it, but I'm gonna do too much. But I'm looking forward to it. Why don't we go in on a close-up? Have a look at what I've made. Look at that. There's your pizza. There's a side view. Yeah. Isn't that a fun looking pizza? It's a layered pizza. It's not a normal pizza, no, but it's a lot of fun. It's like a pie. There we go. We are done. It's definitely a pie. Oh, God. It's definitely a nice looking pie, isn't it? And there's just so much in there that you could definitely taste. It's a bit early for dinner, but this is another episode of Cooking with Heather. Seeing as it's the holidays, everybody's going to be cooking their hearts out. Please cook safely. Use common sense. Merry Christmas.